Hey guys, John Rapp here with the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast. Got a great show lined up for you tonight. 3 great guys, guests in the background. We're going to kick it off. This is our Veterans Day salute right here on.
You're watching the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. Welcome to the Rusty Hook Podcast, presented by Feelfree Kayaks. Paddle, pedal, or power, there's something for everyone. ZPRO Lithium, serious power for serious anglers. DuBro Fishing, American marine application and soft plastics. Big Lake Bait Company, Texas's #1 custom bait maker. Raw and unfiltered. Streaming on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Bringing you gear reviews and candid interviews from the industry's best. Angler profiles, tournament news, and legendary knowledge from kayak fishing's best. Grab that cold drink and get settled in. Now here's John Rapp, our host.
Hey guys, welcome to the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast. It is the Veterans Day salute. It's the 4th time in the last 4 years, every Veterans Day I do this before I end the year. Last year I had a couple Marines and an Army guy on. This year I've got a Marine, a sailor, and a couple Army boys to jump in and talk about what they do in veterans' lives, what they've done in their lifetime, what they've done out, serving the public, their missions, and what their missions are now, which all of us are kayak anglers. So without further ado, I want to bring these boys on board. Start off with Dashawn. Welcome to the show, buddy.
How you doing, John?
Good to have you, man. Good to have you.
Oh yeah, it's
Patrick.
Good
Patrick, welcome to the show, buddy.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, I really appreciate you. And then, not last but not least, my crayon-eating friend, Michael Ridenour. What's up, buddy? Let's see, Mikey. I'm going to unmute you. I think you're muted. Unmute yourself, everybody.
How about that? That a little better?
No, that's a lot better. I'm surprised. Crayon must have gotten your way right there when you were working on that video work. Thank God that one was there with you.
I was trying to swallow it before I spoke.
Hey, we all know the only good Marine's a submarine.
Ooh.
Well.
Just joking with you, buddy. I love you.
Hey guys, that's awesome. Rough crowd. I gotta love it. I'm glad you guys could come out and spend a couple hours of your day. As we can see, Michael's on the road. Pat just got home. Pat, I want you to tell everybody a little bit about what you just came home from. It's a pretty awesome day for yourself.
Oh yeah. So not the organization that I work with, but there was an organization called Backyard Canine Academy. They got together with the Payne Outdoors, and they were looking for a veteran or a first responder that was in need of a dog. And I got picked up and got donated. He's real tired right now. I'll show you. That's Bruno.
Hey, buddy.
He's my new puppy dog. He is 10 months old and he is fully trained. I mean, he's crate trained, potty trained. He'll be right on my hip, and he's going to start training in the next couple of weeks to be my full-fledged service dog.
That's awesome, man.
And I mean, a dog at this caliber can be anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, and they graciously picked me, and I got him for nothing, absolutely free.
That's outstanding.
And
while we got you on here, on the main screen, tell us a little about you, your service days, and then you can we'll go from there, and we'll slide into what you do kayak fishing.
So I served for 9 years in the U.S. Navy in our submarine force. I was on the USS San Francisco from 2006 from 2008 to 2012. That was for a lot of the submarine world and the sailors out there. That's Post Mountain. In 2005, the San Francisco hit an underwater mountain, and it went through a 6-year availability, and came out. We chopped the front of the Honolulu off and put it onto the end of the San Francisco, and then I took her out. I took her out to sea for the first time in 6 years on its first deployment in 6 years. That was pretty great. And then I worked at the Yorktown torpedo facility, building the Mark 48 ad cap torpedo, and teaching the torpedoman sea school how to build the Mark 48 ad cap.
Hey, do you know our good friend Dane Provins up in Pennsylvania?
You know, I mean, the submarine world is a really small world, but I don't believe I know that. I was a West Coast sailor. I sailed out of San Diego. So when I was on the boat, we were out West Coast, and then when I took my shore duty at Yorktown, I pretty much only knew the guys here at Norfolk.
Yeah, I should have done a little bit better job talking about that there. Dane works for the Department of Defense, and up where he lives near Pittsburgh, he works in a facility. They actually build the torpedoes, and he is an engineer of some type. He travels around to different locations and gives classes on them, so guys know how to properly work on them and does things like that. Dude's a hell of a kayak angler, and apparently he's one hell of a smart dude too. So, but
well, I'd love to meet him. You know, meet us up. We can go fishing. We can talk torpedoes.
I've been telling him, man. I was like, dude, you know all this technology on those little rapid spinning little things. Make us something that's a little bit better and faster for our kayaks. You know, instead of the standard torpedoes. And he just giggled. He's like, oh, I probably could, but
I tell you what, I love my NK300.
Yeah,
so
me too.
My Newport Systems NK300 is amazing.
Yeah.
No, when I was in the Navy, I was what they call an electronics technician navigation. So I fixed a lot of the small electronics, the IC systems, but I also navigated the ship underway.
Sweet.
Got out of the Navy in April of 2016 with 9 years, and went to work for Newport News Shipyard in their testing for our Newcon Virginia class submarines, and then shortly thereafter picked up a job with supervisor of shipbuilding. So I'm back on the government's payroll. I work with our fleet support submarines, back with our 688s in repair. So that's my Navy side. What I do with kayak angling, I am the Virginia Tidewater chapter's coordinator for Heroes on the Water. Heroes on the Water is a national nonprofit that takes active duty, retired, and disabled veterans, firefighters, and police officers out kayak fishing with them and their families. We have multiple events throughout the year. You can request one-on-ones or come to one of our larger events where we have 50 some odd people on a lake or private inlet. We push them out with a guide, a private guide, take them out fishing, show them how to do the thing, and then bring them back in, feed them lunch, and send them on their way. the great thing about Heroes on the Water is it's at no cost to the veteran. Our moniker is paddle, fish, heal. We are a strong believer that that the water has healing properties. It builds communities and camaraderie, and just people that are like-minded. When you get out of the military, you tend to miss that camaraderie. You tend to miss that back and forth. I mean, I know I had a little fun with our Marine buddy on the show, but the reality is we all speak the same language, and to be able to be around fellow veterans, it's healing. It's therapeutic. We get to talk a little trash, have a little fun, to share our deployment or see stories, and we make lifelong friends.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit ago. I mean, you were in the Navy, but one of the questions that we had is, which Navy did you actually join? Because we're trying to figure out who that guy is. Is it,
It's my alter ego.
Oh, heck. Old
Give me some canned
Popeye.
spinach, and I'll
Love
I'll
it,
give
man.
you a run for your money.
Awesome. Hey, we appreciate you spending a moment there. Let's bring on Dashawn. Let Dashawn talk about what he's done out in the world. And Dashawn, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what branch of service you're in, and maybe some stories, and then segue into your kayak fishing world.
Well, I'm Dashawn Johnson. I'm 26 and I'm in the Army National Guard. Right now, this is right now going to be my fourth. No, yeah, it's going to be my fourth year, November 22nd. And I have 2 years left on my contract, which I'm going to re-enlist anyway. But I love it, dude. I love it. I've been raised up by my grandfather and my grandmother a lot. My grandfather is military. I think he was infantry. I know he was Army, but I think he was infantry for 23 years. He retired in the Army, and basically I was pretty much raised all the Army ways. So it kind of like grew upon me, and
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get away from it, man. It was like I tried to do a lot of stuff before I joined. I wanted to join coming out of high school, but I kind of pushed it back to go to college, and I started working with Norfolk Southern. I ended up being a crane operator for them for about 3-4 years. Then, dude, I don't know. College was kind of eating me up a little bit when it came to money and working 12, 16-hour shifts.
Smart move, man.
Yeah, I
That's
couldn't.
what paid for mine.
Yeah, I wanted to go a long time ago. I should have went coming fresh out of high school. That was the idea, but I kind of backed out of it a little bit because I wanted to get that college experience. So I ended up falling back on that game plan, and that's how I'm in it right now. And I love it, dude. I love it. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, it's just something about it. You get more of a, like you said, you get more of a brotherhood. I don't know. It's like people that you don't know, but you go through like the mud and everything with them, and you learn to appreciate each other, as the weeks go by and training. And I ain't gonna lie, when I went to basic training and I came out of basic training going into AIT, I did not want to leave my battle buddies. I wanted to go to the same base with them. They all went to Fort Lee. I was the only one that went to Leonard Wood. So
Yeah, I spent some time at Fort Lee myself.
yeah,
That's where I got sent to when they called us up and sent us overseas. We did all our lanes training and spent 90 days there back in 2003 because when they called us up to go to Iraq, we were supposed to go into Turkey, but Turkey closed their borders, and so they had to redo us. We ended up in Saudi Arabia, then Kuwait, before we rolled into Iraq. But that's awesome, man. So tell us a little bit about what you do. Well, before we get into the kayak fishing part of it, I want you to tell a little bit everybody about the mission you just got off of, because that's one of the great things that the National Guard does for us is that they're just not augmentation for the regular military, but they do have critical missions stateside.
So what was it? It was Hurricane Helene. I think
Yes.
that was the one. Yeah, Hurricane Helene had hit. Um, it took us a minute to get called up, but we finally got called up, and we went down to Montgomery, Georgia, and passed out a lot of water, cleaned up debris, passed out food. And me, I wanted to do a little bit more. I wanted to actually get out there and walk around. And actually, I was hoping that we were going to take military vehicles. That was the game plan, was to take military vehicles, ride down the road with supplies, people who couldn't really get out of their
Right.
houses because of the trees falling down on their vehicles or hitting their house and stuff like that. It affected people a lot down there. It affected people a lot more than what I thought it did.
Right.
It was crazy to see all the power lines down, but I mean, I was just happy to be there. I always think we could do a little bit more, but at the end of the day, just to put a smile on everybody's face and help. That was I guess that was the biggest goal right there for me.
Hey, you know
So
how it is. I've pulled a few flood duties here in West Virginia as well, and when you roll in, just with water and MREs and stuff like that, and folks get that for even for a few days. I mean, especially in those areas down there where they were hit so hard, um, it gives them a sense of relief, and then hey, they're not forgotten. Help's on the way, and appreciate you and what you did for those folks down there. So kayak fishing. Let's talk about that. What are you in? What do you target? Things like that.
so I also, for kayak fishing, and I'm fairly new to it. I'm about 2 years in it, but I'm really 1 year in it because I haven't got to do it enough. But I work with a guy named, and you probably know him, Clay Ragsdale. Uh, he does a non-profit organization, just like Patrick. It's called Veterans Kayak Fishing. We take veterans out. I haven't got to do it that much this year. Last year I did it a lot more. This year I was tied up with a lot of military stuff and orders and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
hope
I,
this year I
I
can get
tagged them. I
do it.
tagged them for this episode. When you go to their page, it's like the very first person you see is you in your shirt.
Yeah.
I'm like, so that was pretty sweet. So
Yeah,
yeah,
he's a good dude, man. I love Clay, man. Clay's he's definitely a good dude. He's all about helping people and showing them the way and showing veterans, getting them out on the water and showing them that you could do it. Like this, he's been through a lot. Clay's been through a lot, but he's one person. When you hear his story, it makes you want to just keep pushing forward. So I love
amen.
him, man. That's one of my diehards right there.
Well, keep at it, bro. I mean, because I know we're teammates at ZPRO, and I know you represent that brand awesome, and so do what you do because you're doing it right.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mikey, we're gonna bring you into the hot seat, my buddy. So I see you're traveling back, and you could talk a little bit about what you did today. Pat went down and got a service dog, and I guess you picked up something as well.
Yeah, so it's been absolutely crazy last few months. From doing the Knucklehead Hero Cup for the catch-ups. I partnered up with JT Hickman for the Hero Cup, joined his team, or earned a spot onto his team. Fished that, went straight into the end of the year KBF Challenge Series Championship, then on to the 10, left there, went to the final Bassmaster event, Caddo, come home long enough to really just kind of drop everything off, wash some laundry, catch up a few things at the office, and then we headed to Nebraska. And last 8 days. And then today I stopped and met with Nick from Fish Texas Trailers. We've been talking and conversing back and forth about some trailers and different things that I'm not going to release all the beans. You'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I've got pretty awesome trailer coming for the upcoming season for Bassmaster. And again, I'll do the KBF and the Fish Shops Catch 22, and any of the Knucklehead and any of the events that they offer that will go to help with the veterans. And I joined up with JT Hickman and the Freedom Squad and those guys over there to try to spread the word to get kayak fishing, and not just kayak fishing, just support and brotherhood, to reach out to our fellow veterans and those in need and the time of need. I mean, as veterans, I think we all kind of can relate, maybe in different ways and different capacities of depending on what each of our stories are. But
well, tell us a little about your military history too, there, brother.
Yeah, so joined the Marine Corps, signed up on delayed entry on my 16th birthday. My dad was a Marine, my grandfathers were Marines, my uncles were Marines. I knew from a very early age that's what I wanted to do. So 16th birthday, called the recruiter just to talk, ended up leaving to go to MEPS, take the ASVAB, and did all that the following day. 2 weeks after graduation, I was standing on the yellow footprints in Parris Island. So love that. Speaking of Fort Leonard Wood, I did my MOS training out there. I was supposed to be out there for 60 days, graduated top 10% of my class. I got rolled over for an additional 60 days. Fort Lost in the Woods, show me state. There wasn't a whole lot to show me out there, but it was good. But again, from there went to Lejeune. That was they told us, you can put Hawaii or wherever you want to go. It was our dream list. We filled that out, and I thought, and they told us, Hawaii is like very rare. Maybe 3 out of 10 might get it. And I put Lejeune, something close to home that I could drive back and forth. Didn't think Hawaii was really a thing. Almost everybody in my class put Hawaii, and they all got it. So I left Fort Leonard Wood solo, headed east when everybody else headed west. But loved it. Was part of 8th Motors until they converged it over with TSB, Transportation Support Battalion. And then spent my time. I went to Kayaks and 2-6 with them. And talking about the brotherhood that we have, my brothers and sisters in arms, we still have thanks to social media today, a group chat where we all still talk. Everybody from my unit, well, not everybody, but I think there's 26 of us on there that still converse weekly. So that's the one positive side of social media, is being able to reach out and still touch base with those people that you fought along the side and spent so many days, nights, and not always pleasantries with, but yeah, they're family. They're more than family, and it's hard to explain that to somebody outside of the branches, but everybody within the branches knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, 4 years there, and got out, and it was weird. We actually had an advertisement for military members to sign up for an oil rig in Pennsylvania. When I got out, they love military members due to the hours worked and the discipline, and it's kind of what led me to where I am today. I guess I'm the old guy of this group next to you, John. So I got out in 2002 and been in oil and gas ever since. And like Dashawn, this is 3.5 years I've been kayak fishing, tournament fishing, and this year is actually my first full-on trail year with Bassmaster. It was a really good year and made it.
Yes, you did.
Now, so
you did you had a great year. Yeah,
yeah.
Overall, with all the trails you were running in, you had a great year, no doubt.
Yeah, 10 events, 7 checks. It was pretty good.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, You smashed them.
We'll forget that someday.
So, hey, guys, I want to throw up a quick minute salute for all of the veterans out there. So let's do this real quick. Take a quick break and run this 1 minute video.
Our veterans who bravely served. We stand by you. Your sacrifice was not in vain. You served with honor and courage, protecting freedom. And for that, we are grateful. We ask God to bless you, encourage you, and embrace you. Thank you, veterans.
Yes, that was a small tribute that I have for the veterans. But I think I may have not started it off right there. While we were showing you guys their pre-show, I let it run a little bit, and then when I run it off right there, I didn't have it back started at the beginning. So it was only about 45 seconds. So I'm the crayon eater at this moment there, Michael.
I'm all about the crowns. I like the red ones.
You like the red ones? Well, I got to say I like the red ones too. And speaking of red, guys, I want to just, I know that my friends and followers that have been watching my journey here, I'm an Army veteran myself, recently 100% disabled because of this. And a lot of you saw where I was doing my treatments back in August and September. My forehead was just destroyed, like you're seeing here, all around my forehead, because I split up my treatment from here up, and then I'm doing it down now. And I've been using that. It's a cream-based chemotherapy type treatment. It's not chemotherapy, but it's a chemo cream that I rub on my face. And what it does, it kills bad cells, skin cells. It's not, and then like you can see, like around my eyes here and around my nose, side of my face, back over here, my cheeks and stuff survived it pretty well. But point I wanted to bring up, guys, is take care of your bodies and take care of yourself. Wear skin SPF clothing, and make sure you wear your or put on your sunscreen. So I'm gonna cover that back up as much as I can here, and we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll do a little bit talking, just a little bit more on what we all do kayak fishing wise. So stand by.
This is the Rusty Hook Podcast, supporting people and companies that support us. Feelfree Kayaks, paddle, pedal, or power, something for everyone. DuBro Fishing, manufacturer of fishing and marine products for freshwater and saltwater anglers. ZPRO Lithium, high-quality, specifically designed lithium batteries to power your outdoor recreations. Big Lake Bait Company, Texas's #1 custom soft plastics bait maker. You're tuned in to the Rusty Hook Podcast. More than a podcast, but a way of life. From the biggest lakes to the smallest creeks, we are all things kayak fishing. Refresh that drink, turn up the volume, and feel the excitement. It's time for the second half of the show. Live, raw, and unfiltered. Now, let's join the one and only Big Daddy.
Hey guys, welcome back to the second half of the Kayak Bass Fishing Rusty Hook Podcast Veterans Day Special. I got 3 absolutely wonderful men on the show tonight, all veterans, all kayak anglers, and we just did a quick breakdown with each one of us here the last 30 minutes, and now I'm going to bring the guys back on, and reintroduce those guys that are for the folks that are just catching the show. So we got my friend here and good pal Dashawn Johnson from Georgia. We've got Patrick Soderholm from Virginia, and then on the other side of the mountain range, we got Michael Ridenour from West Virginia. So welcome back to the show, fellas. You guys might want to unmute your mics and say hello.
Thanks for having us.
Hello. Hello. Thanks.
Hey, I'm going to pass out crayons to all of you now because you guys just ate them big time. So, guys, let's talk about our transition from our military life and, into the kayak fishing world and what we're bringing to the kayak fishing world because of how we lived before. I mean, Patrick, and I'll let you start it off. You're running an awesome chapter in Virginia of Heroes on the Water. Let's talk about that a little bit more and talk about, what you try to do to help veterans.
So, like I said before, Heroes on the Water takes active duty, retired, disabled veterans, police officers, and firefighters out kayak fishing. Just gives them a day on the water with their friends and their family. We provide all the kayaks. I mean, my chapter themselves, we have 22 kayaks, 50 rods and reels, 2 big trailers. We show up and set up a party, and all of our volunteers from the local area will show up. We have private guides, put them out on the water, and just do some solid fishing, and then we feed them lunch and send them on their way.
Old vets like to eat. So.
Oh yeah. We've got a wonderful cook. We've got my buddy Kenny Stansel. He's one of the head chefs for a barbecue restaurant in Virginia Beach. He comes out every event and puts on a spread. We'll have ribs, chicken, all the sides and fixings, and then his mom makes a bunch of desserts. But I mean, for me, I started as a participant. 8 years ago, I was 8-9 years ago, I was getting out of the Navy, and a buddy of mine who was an Army vet asked me to go fishing. And he took me to Heroes on the Water. What's being shown right now is our national website. If you want to find a chapter in your area, we have over 52 chapters in the U.S. You can find a chapter near you, and when they're doing events, or contact their coordinator. But I started as a participant, and I just fell in love with it. I spent 6 hours on the water, and afterwards he says, "Hey, what'd you think?" I said, "I think we're going kayak. We're going kayak shopping." Bought a kayak, and I've been in it ever since. We hit any of our waters in the Tidewater area from Tawano all the way down to Virginia Beach, out to Smithfield. We go to Chesapeake. We do salt water. We do fresh water. If it swims, we want to catch it.
My son and our stepson and his wife just left the naval yards out there. She just got out of the Navy and went back to Missouri. Beth and I would make trips down to OBX, and we would stop by over the summer. But a couple of the guys that fished up at Susquehanna, they make trips over your way every year and fish the tidal waters over there.
They're probably hitting Rudy Inlet, and you can catch some massive bull reds there. The speckled trout were really good this year. Flounder, as far as the tidal waters go. There are some amazing bass lakes in the Tidewater area that you can hit, and we always have our secret spots. But the great thing about the Tidewater chapter is we have private lakes that nobody else gets to fish.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I'll extend the invite to anybody, but especially you guys today. If you guys are ever in the Tidewater area and you guys want to go fishing, come on down. You don't even have to bring your kayak if you don't want to. I'll have some waiting for you.
Can't beat that, man. Shoot.
And not only that, I'll feed you too. So
Oh,
No, it's a done deal. I'm there.
Yeah.
You got me on that one.
We're on our way. No,
Michael, I wanted to say, you asked if I was down in Gunnersville. We were down there and I think in May with Chad Hoover and Gene, the fluke master. Chad, as many people know, Chad Hoover is a kayak bass fishing. He is a big promoter of Heroes on the Water. He helps run their Alabama chapter down there. But if you ever watch his podcasts or his YouTube videos or even kayak bass fishing TV on the Outdoors channel, he is always a big promoter of Heroes on the Water. Our moniker is Paddlefish Heel, and that's exactly what we do. It's this last year we put out a survey at every one of our events, and we are trying this next 3 to 5 years to prove that kayak fishing is indeed therapeutic and does help people on a mental, physical, and emotional level. And with this new survey that was put out by Texas Tech, we're hoping to get a lot of government funding to prove to people that as much of us know that do kayak fish, all it takes is us pushing off the bank and getting on the water for the first time. Our blood pressure drops probably about 10 points. We can take a breath of fresh air, and our pulse drops, and we're just calm, relaxed, and calculated. It's hard to explain, but kayak fishing, at least as a veteran, and all of the people we've helped with Heroes on the Water, it really does help. It lowers your stress level. It lowers your anxiety. I have seen it do wonders for people with PTSD. I can't talk about it more. I mean, you guys agree?
without a doubt. And that's one of the great things.
100%.
Yeah, one of the great things about being in this sport too is not only when I used to run the West Virginia Kayak Anglers Fishing Club here from 17 to 2021. And when we held a tournament up on the Cheat River, we were involved with an organization up there, which is called Patriots 4. And when we went up there, we gave back to them. I mean, they provided us their campground and facilities. And one of the great things about it, as we talked pre-show, was it's right on the water. So a lot of us could just drive about 5-6 miles upriver, put in, and then float right back to the campground and get out, moor your kayaks, jump on someone's other vehicle, and then run back down. We had our tents set up right along the water. There was probably about 70 of us. And we had a hot dog feed from a couple of veterans. All donations that went from the hot dog feed, and then all donations that we collected from the club. I think we donated back over $500 back to Patriots 4. So it's a great place that I recommend. And, Pat, where you're at over near Richmond, you can cut right across 66, jump on 33, and I bet you're probably there in 3 hours. So great place. Highly recommend it.
I'll definitely have to look them up.
Anyway, I want to thank you guys, and over the past several years, what I've done is I've collected through our Facebook page and Instagram and stuff, I've said, hey guys, if you're a veteran, I would love to salute you on this show. And I've got about a 4-minute slideshow here of all the different veterans over the years that have sent me a photo of them in uniform and with a fish or something in a kayak. So I'm going to run that. You guys want to take you a quick break? We'll be right back. So here's this video. We'll start it from the beginning here. If you can't tell what branch they are, underneath the served, I throw up the branch logo. All right, so pretty good slideshow. Now I got Dashawn and Patrick's that I can add to that for next year. Probably add Patrick's Popeye one on there just for fun.
No, I definitely would.
All right, guys. Anyway, so we saw a few familiar names there. We had Fletch, who just popped in a comment there a little bit ago. He was on there, an old military guy, old Army boy. And then a lot of mainstream names on there. Richard Wolpenny back in the day when he helped run KBF. And you got Gene Jensen in there. So I've asked Chad Hoover on several occasions to send me a photo to put in there, but it's never happened. Anyway, there's a lot of guys out there. I hope that if you've seen this tonight, you reach out to me for next year. I would love to have a military photo and then throw in a kayak fishing picture, and I'll dress it up and build a slideshow for my 5th year next year. Any final thoughts, guys, before we close up shop tonight?
Happy Veterans Day.
Yeah,
Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I want to thank all my brothers and sisters in arms for the services they did for our country.
100%.
And thank you, gentlemen.
Likewise.
You too.
And
thank you, Pat.
we all have support networks. I know when I was deployed, and let's point out some other great organizations that are involved in the kayak fishing. Some of them are semi-open, semi-closed. I'm not sure what their status, but like Socks and Cookies. Shannon, she runs that organization. I know she either took a full-time job or did something when she was doing that on the side as a nonprofit. She's had some help with that. I think she's got I can't think of his name right now off the top of my head, but a guy from South Carolina has been helping her. I got last year they were selling coins, Socks and Cookie coins, and I got 4 of them to help with that their mission. So I know a lot of our National Guard, DJ, you'll know this, is that when you get deployed, a lot of the National Guard units, all the families will pull together and send out care packages. I can remember when I was over in Iraq in 2003, there was no PXs. There was no, I think my first 45 days was eating MREs. So, the first hot meal I had was when they sent in the big 4-barrel, the big barrels of food, and they had stuffed with like soy burgers and green eggs and stuff like that. Boy, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Nothing replaces the old Chili Mac MREs, though.
Ain't that the truth, man?
I'm still eating it.
You're not only still eating it, but you're probably still making that deposit too.
Hey, you guys have no idea when you're doing a stores load and you look down at it. There's a sticker on it that says "Rejected by California State Penitentiary."
and it still tastes good.
Well, if you got a good cook, you do all right.
Yeah, that Tabasco sauce can make everything taste good if you use it right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I remember on our deployment, they ordered 5 boxes of Italian sausage and 5 crates showed up. And so we ate Italian sausage for every meal for probably 6 months. And
I can expect that coming from a Navy guy.
Yeah. I didn't eat a hot dog or a bratwurst for probably about 3 years after that.
I can believe that. I really can. Just looking at it would probably be thinking you'd be traumatized. So
it was awful. It was awful. Worst day was when we ran out of mustard.
Yeah, that'd be a bad day.
Yeah. Hey guys, God bless you, and thank you again for joining me here on the Rusty Hook. All you veterans out there that took a few moments to pop on and listen to us, we want to wish you all well and thank you for your service.
I love you guys.
Dashawn?
Thank
John,
you.
God bless
I
you.
appreciate y'all,
Continue
man.
prayers for speedy recovery for you, my brother.
Oh, it's happening, man. I go back to the VA November 18th to let the old doc look at it and say, keep applying the cream. Keep applying
John,
the
send
cream.
me
you
your
go.
address. I'm going to send you a Heroes on the Water SPF
Hey,
t-shirt.
I like it. Ooh, I like that. All right, guys. Be blessed, stay safe, and always remember to wear your PFD. I was watching that video, guys. One last thing. I was like, man, it's so sweet to trade that bulletproof vest for the PFD. You know, it was, wearing that old flak vest for the life vest is just a great feeling. So
Sure is.
God bless you. And thank you for what all you all do. And DJ, I know you're still active in the Guard. I appreciate you every day for what you do, not only for the country, but what you do for your folks there in Georgia. So keep at it. Be blessed.
Thank
Guys,
you,
have a
John.
great night.
You too.
All right, so appreciate those guys jumping in and chatting with us tonight. Thank you guys for watching us here on the Rusty Hook. We're going to close up shop and we'll throw this one last thank you out to all you veterans, and then we're going to head out.
To you, our veterans who bravely served, we stand by you. Your sacrifice was not in vain. You served with honor and courage, protecting freedom. And for that, we are grateful. We ask God to bless you, encourage you, and embrace you. Thank you, veterans.
And just like we would end our day in the military, we're going to end this show the right way. Little retreat. Guys, stay safe, be blessed, and again, always wear your PFD.